Hello everybody, my name is Erik Teren Mullins, and today we're going to be doing a crazy unboxing. I've never had a box this big before. Well, there was that one time. I wonder if I could fit in this one. It seems a little bit bigger than the last. And I've never had so many figures come out all at once. Oh, R.I.P. my poor wallet. There are quite a few figures in here, and this is a major unboxing haul adventure. If you want to see some in-depth review of all the figures you're going to see today, be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe, and perhaps that notification bell. And why not leave a comment? It really helps support my channel. Let's get into it. The amiami card. Before I start taking out a bunch of figures, I'd just like to mention that out of all the figures that I've gotten here today, one of them in particular is a Grail figure of mine that I've wanted for a very long time. Because I saw that Amiami had one available, used, I can't wait to check that one out. I had to move my whole Jade Palace box that I usually keep here because this is just too big. I have no place in my tiny apartment to put a box like this. And the first box that I'm going to be opening isn't actually a box. I got a t-shirt made by Cospa from Yuru Camp. Isn't it super... Huh. I guess that's that. Now to open up the first actual box, and this one is legit just diving out at me. So I guess Pilgrim Nikke's Scarlet is the first one to be opened today. The front of this box has expert advertising along with this whole box is loaded with cool graphic design motifs. It seems like they put the extra effort in thinking all of this through. On one side, we have a photo of the back of the figure. The other side shows the front. Conceptually, this is really great. And on the back, we have a bunch of product photos that show off all sorts of intricate details that this figure has to offer. On the bottom, we have her name along with the tab because this is a fold-up box. And on the top, we have another photo of her face. Let's get her open. Ooh. The cardboard to this box feels extremely thin. Instructions on the bottom. On the inside of the box, we have this lovely motif. Of course, I'm going to mention it because I always do, but when you're spending a premium amount of cash towards buying a figure, it's lovely to see the figure. They have this nice little window here so you can see her face, but the box itself doesn't have a cutout for that window. Why not? I would like that, especially if I was traversing the lands and all of a sudden fell upon such a lovely figure, only to desire her so much and find out that the one that I got has some sort of quality control issue on the face or something weird like that. They could have just cut a hole out to be able to see this. It's not asking for very much, and the type of paper is kind of cheap, so I feel like they really could have done it. So well plastified for protection. A lovely Nikke base that's very fitting with the... This base is just really nice. They give us an extra hairpiece. This way, if you don't want to have her with the giant hat, you don't need it. That's it for the plastics. I kind of thought that we'd be getting a couple of foams here or there, but yes, Scarlet doesn't need that. Look at those high heels. They are made for walking. Before I get into throwing that hat over her head, this is a Good Smile Arts Shanghai figure made by Good Smile Company. The last figure that I purchased from them really angered me due to the false advertising, despite the figure being extremely well made. This Shinano was supposed to be a 1/7, but she's clearly a 1/8 in comparison to every 1/7 figure I've ever owned in my life. That's a lot. And right off the bat, I could say that she does look a little small in comparison to my 1/7 Alice over here, who is very well scaled when next to any other 1/7 figure that I own. How tall or how large of a character is Scarlet from the game? I would say she seems maybe 7 or 8% smaller than she should be here, but due to the fact that it's not too big of a difference, I'm not really that bothered by it. And before some of you might say, well, she's the same height, look at those heels. Meanwhile, Alice is sporting running shoes, but I tend to look at the size of the faces, the heads, and then all the proportions afterwards to have a good understanding of the scale that these figures claim to be in. Let's just say that after the last figure I had purchased from Good Smile Shanghai, I'm very weary of that company, and I have many other figures that I pre-ordered from them coming out throughout the year. So expect an in-depth review on this figure, and I'm going to compare her properly in that review. Her freaking gorgeous hat. This thing is so cool. She's got a peg placeholder in the head. Let's see what the instructions tell me to do first, just so I don't mess this up. And she looks super cute. I find that off first glance, there's all sorts of different type of textures that we have on her. All around, beautiful, beautiful figure, and such a great character. This is exciting. I can't wait to go over this one in detail. She has such a smug face. I love it. On to the next one. Oh, I've been looking forward to this. And I don't even play Blue Archive. This is a 1/7 scale figure of Toki from Blue Archive. Just look at this box. This is how you make a box to sell a figure. Just look at the front of this gorgeous cutout. You can see everything here. Here's one of the sides. I really love how we have everything written down here in a super cute writing with nice hollow foil effects. On the other side, we get something very similar. While in the back, we get some lovely product shots along with some product warnings. Heck, we even get a lovely top cutout. This is really nice because lighting comes in through there, which really illuminates the figure when you're purchasing this within a store. We don't get much on the bottom, but more than so many other figures would offer. Let's get it open. And that is a solid cardboard in comparison to the last one. The inside of this box might not seem like much, but it's kind of cool that we get this nice little gambling motif on the bottom. Don't forget about the instructions. And Max Factory, these seem like some legit hardcore instructions. Looks like I'm gonna have to do a bit of building. A formidable scent. Lovely, soft, velvety, high-class base. It's nothing super crazy, but it really works at making the whole figure feel a lot more premium. She's in a bunny costume. I don't own a single figure that's in a bunny costume, and she feels really high quality, but I really feel like over the years, Max Factory has really delivered in that aspect. I'm glad this rips easily. This is like not... Ooh, okay, the head comes out. Here we go. Cute little briefcase made for her cute little briefings. Extra right hand with peace sign, super adorable. Just look at this connection piece. They are not messing around here. And this beautiful classic halo that we see on Blue Archive characters. I don't know anything about Blue Archive. At first, you must put her on the base. You got it, instructions. Where are the... There we go. Put that head in here. That's extremely clever. Very, very well thought out, Max Factory. She actually has a major seam on her right arm because it's removable, but this hair envelopes it so expertly that you really can't tell. But I'll get more into detail on her when I do my in-depth figure review. What? It's crazy how figures nowadays all have these little placeholder pegs before pegging something else in. I guess over the years, they just see that maybe with different types of heats and humidities, plastic kind of expands or contracts, and having this in there at all times, that's just really terrific. This is a perfect circle, which kind of bothers me. I would have liked a weird shape so that way I knew how to put it in. And how deep am I supposed to push it? Like, is that enough or is that not deep enough? Like, oh my gosh, even with that placeholder piece, I feel like this isn't going in completely. Oh, and it's on an angle. Dang it. Stressful. I don't want to break or snap it. It feels like a very fragile plastic. There's nothing here to indicate what's the proper angle for this. I made it so that the center blue circle is pointing towards the direct center of her head. Now you'll hold this briefcase full of sweet, sweet monies or whatever it is that Toki enjoys. Maybe it's delicious snacks. Have I mentioned that I don't know anything about Blue Archive? There's a peg on the back end of her briefcase. It goes into her leg where you then put her hands wrapped around the actual handle. And I'm guessing you kind of angle this in so it's like it fits in accordingly. Doesn't seem to fit very well to me. I don't want to scratch the paint on here. Okay, that looks good. So she isn't supposed to be wrapping her hands around it completely. She's kind of just like resting her fingers on it. So big! This is so cool! My first bunny girl! Let's put you over here. And of all the bunny girls I ever could have gotten, Toki from a game I know nothing about. I believe I mentioned that. On to the next one. I love how Amiami really packages their figures nicely. It makes me pretty happy. I've rarely had any kind of issues with the figure being damaged from shipping. It has happened, but I order a lot of figures and then I sell a lot of figures in order to pay for more figures. And so I usually protect them similarly to amiami because they're just really good. Ooh. This is a budget figure made by Animester of Desire Witch Lilianna. This one might be a little bit for an older audience, so you've been warned while I go through the unboxing of her. She has clothes on, she just doesn't have very much in the way of clothes, so you've been warned. But this box she comes in really gives high end, very nice. I feel like Animester really does an excellent job at balancing out their price budget versus like the quality that you're getting. Lovely window along the front with beautiful designs and motifs of some creepy forest all around her. This is excellent, and it does a good job at selling us on the desired atmosphere that they want this figure to have. On one side, we have a cutout of the character and the name. On the other, we get a product shot, which is good because you can't always see everything just looking through the window. Along the back, we get another cutout of the character with some product warnings. Name and cute little design work on the top, and nothing on the bottom, and nothing is really needed. Let's get her open. This figure is huge. Aww, boo. So the instructions here were extremely damaged and beat up. I'm not really somebody that keeps the boxes, but I do tend to keep instructions. I don't know why. It's not like I really need them again. I'm a bit of a Transformer collector, and due to this, I just keep the instructions to almost everything. This inner plastic is extremely weak, very squishy. Be careful with that. Her base plate for a lower end figure. This is good. It works. We get two massively long metallic pegs, and then they really connect underneath, but not by so much. So it looks like it's going to hold her really well, but based off of this plastic, I don't know. I'd still be careful. This feels off to me. Oh boy. Okay, so I'm going to have to squeeze some of her together in order to get her to fit on this base properly. That's a little worrisome. I don't want it to break. That was extremely stressful. Like bending all the plastic to be able to shove it in there. This is the kind of figure that does not want to come off the base plate once you put them on it. She's scaled as a 1/6, and I would say that makes a lot of sense. So that kind of leads me to believe that perhaps Toki here might just be a little bit too big. I'm not going to complain about that. They actually look really well proportioned next to one another. But hold up, she comes with a couple of accessories. It's rare you see a succubus in today's day and age holding some cool shamanistic style staff, but here we are. This thing looks really great. Ooh, that's a thin piece of plastic to be pushing in there. Not exactly sure how it's supposed to look. There's no reference pictures here, just this crumpled up old instructions. It comes with a beautiful key that has a magnet on it, and for all of you out there that have figures that light up or do special things involving a magnet, this is a magnet to end all magnets. It's so cool, very well shaded. Heck, I would have paid the price just for this freaking magnet. This is cool. Like, I'm going to be using this thing. It says that her index finger is supposed to go over the head, but I'm not buying it. The whole plastic on this figure really feels like it kind of got a little bit warped here or there. Maybe I can slowly move this into her hand. Well, that's pretty much the best I can do, but it actually looks like she's holding it from the horn and very delicately, which I find is very pretty and somewhat imposing. So I think it's good. It's good. Her face, is it the eyes? Can I move it with this? Oh my gosh. No way. So she comes with batteries pre-installed inside of her, which is Animester. Very cool. I think it's amazing. Thank you. On a brand new figure like this, that's very awesome. However, long-term and collectability-wise, that's terrifying. For any of you that want to get this figure or watching this video far in the future, be sure that the person that you're buying it from had removed the batteries to make sure that you won't get any kind of leakage or anything like that. So her eyes actually have that lenticular ability where wherever you're moving in a room, they seem to follow you. Not only that, they installed batteries in her head that make hearts light up in them. For any of you out there that love waifus and want them to step all over you, this is it. Really? She blinks? I can't believe it. This thing is... I can't wait to do my in-depth review on this, but let's just say for a lower-end figure, Animester is just doing an excellent job. Granted, it's not the most amount of detail you're going to see in your life, but the level of quality that you're getting and the anatomy and the everything you get here is still pretty well done. She comes with an alternate faceplate that houses extremely gorgeous long elf ears, the mouth, the lips. This is really a nice face, the fact that the batteries are already in there, and I actually like the idea that her eyes look extra dark. It really gives off more of a monstrous vibe. Animester, this Lilianna, amazing. On to the next one. Oh, I was looking forward to that. You know, I swear, because I feel like I could say I've been looking forward to all of them. I always am. You always have to wait like a year or 2 years before some of these figures are actually released, and following the production of these figures is so part of the fun. Seeing the sketch, the illustrations, the color work, and then afterwards the first 3D render, then the real sculpt, and then everything starting to get colored together for their prototypes. It's such a fun experience then to finally get the production model in your hands, and it's even more excellent when they turn out as good, if not even better, than the prototypes. It actually happens sometimes. But is this the case with my Fate Assassin Kama, scaled at 1:7, made by Medicos Entertainment? On the back here we have these lovely photos. No product warnings. I wonder where they put them. On the bottom! On one side we get a larger window here. The other side, we have a slightly smaller window along with a photo to really entice those of you that love this character to go out and get it right away. And on the front is pure domination, as this girl just... It's hard to say no to Kama in this form. I am so excited for this character. Before I open her up, just to tell you that my anticipation is pretty high. I love the concept that her base is transparent and it goes up into transparencies for her appendages, because I think that putting a light under this figure would be one of the most epic things if it's done properly. It'll just make her look so cosmic, and that's very exciting. This figure was also decently priced for a Fate figure, which is surprising. It looks like she has a lot going on. Let's get her open. Inside the box, they give us this lovely cosmic cutout. The gradient and everything is really pretty, and it will look really nice with this figure if you decide to have it in behind her or something like that within your display. She looks decently protected in this. I personally would have put many more of those softer types of thin plastics around here, especially around the chest, because that feels like it could really rub up against this plastic. Let's get her out of here. You know what's funny is that I slide my knife through it the whole thing. I don't even look to see if there's tape anymore. I used to do that, and I'd always miss like one little strand of tape here and there, and now I'm just like, whatever. She came with this one tiny little paper of somewhat instructions. I don't really understand it. I guess it shows where to peg her in. Look at those iridescent colors that we have on this. This is really cute. This is a really shiny and even pearlized plastic, kind of going all the way up her body as things slowly get more matte as they get to her face. And her hair is pearlized. Everything here has that magical, shiny glow to it. Now to take this clearly plastified wedding veil off of her head. So her chest actually has one major indentation because of the shipping, and this is expected because of how she wasn't particularly well protected in that packaging. This is really unique because you don't necessarily need to put her on the base. You could just put her anywhere and she fits perfectly. Just saying this because it actually saves you a lot of space. I think this base looks amazing. I'm definitely putting her on it. Anything that's not just a solid, boring circle. Yeah, I get it, 2B. Your circle has your name, a design, and a little circle-y cutout around it. It's nicer than a regular, boring black one, but it's just to say that this is much nicer. On the base, we get this weird little handle thing, and this thing can actually pop off if you want it to. I feel like you would take it off only for photo purposes, but it's made to make her hands a lot more solid as she's just standing on this base. This means that she doesn't actually click on here, she's just ever so slightly placed on here. Keep this in mind, people, because if you're picking her up or moving her around, she could just fly right off it. Of course, when she's on there, she's kinda solid. I mean, let's just say she's solid enough. While other parts of her body kind of go on where the water is rippling, very well done. It holds her nicely, it's just not stable. And here we are. Seems like it was quite the trail to get all the way to this point, but we've got one figure left. It's the one I had mentioned at the beginning, a used figure that I picked up from Amiami of a character, and specifically designed by an artist that I really wanted. It was kind of like a unique thing, and I'm extremely picky with this franchise to the point where almost every time I get something from it, I always resell it a couple of months later because I just look at it and it just doesn't hit all those check marks. On the My Figure Collection page, which I'll put a link down in the description below, great website for figure collectors or people thinking about getting into it, or if you just want to get that specific character and you want to see more of them. All this to say that this is one of my Grail figures. I'm extremely excited to finally open this up. I remember when I had gone to Japan, I saw her and she was so overpriced, I was like, I can't afford this. And that is... Flares Rei Ayanami, made by the artist Shunya. And now Shunya, in case some of you might recall the name, is the main illustrator for the Bishoujo line on Kotobukiya. They have done some fantastic figures in their art style, which I always feel is a really nice blend between the West and the East. And the fact that they managed to get that artist to come over to Flare just to design this Rei Ayanami figure is wow. I've always been a bit more of an Asuka fan because I like those strong, hardcore ladies, but I mean, don't tell her. I'm just personally not a fan of the Asuka design made by Shunya, and this is like, even the pose and everything, it's got so much power to it. I love this. The back of the box shows a lovely illustration by Shunya. This box just really knows what they're doing. The top of the figure, we get the product warnings on the bottom, clear along the front, some design work on the side, and on the other side, we have a gorgeous cutout illustration of the line art drawn by Shunya, which alone is just really beautiful. I might keep this box just because of that, or maybe I'll cut this thing out really professionally so I can put it in the back of my display. This being an older and used figure, I am a little bit worried about it, so I can't wait to get into nitty-gritty with a hardcore, in-depth, detailed review on her so I can just go over everything. But first, let's get her open. But first, should I make a joke like that? I usually keep things pretty PG around here. Maybe I should edit it out. All this being said, while she's basically showing you her behind. Okay, let's open this up. Comes with this lovely card of sorts. This is really cute. A lovely illustration with the whole Evangelion flair written in the back. Unexpected. That's fun. Especially considering I went on about how much I love this illustrator. So Amiami clearly put some tape all around this figure to make sure things don't move around too much. But the base is moving a heck of around a lot in there, which kind of makes me a bit nervous. This base is simple. Plastic pegs. Gotta keep an eye on that. That's kind of weak. But I just love the artwork so much that I can't dunk on it too much because it's not just all white and boring. They tried to do something here. It's got a design to it, which is lovely. They put a plastic to protect the back of her head, but nothing to protect the rest of her body during shipping. That's extremely stressful because her slightly shaking around in the shipping over and over slowly rubs off the plastics, scratches it up. This should have been much better protected. I'm disappointed that Amiami didn't do that. As somebody that's been collecting anime statues since 2004, Amiami and their used figures are not always perfect. I've gotten so many where I'll read their quality and their grade and they'll just be way off. But them's the breaks when you get a used figure from a large company. They probably get so much volume in, they'll just write it off, ship it out, next person, let's go. You're not buying it from a specific individual, but then you have the security when you buy it from a larger company that you're actually going to get a real version of the figure and not some knockoff, which is terrifying. Think she goes in it like this? I mean, I guess she could go in it this way. I don't know. They didn't come with instructions. The pegs are different sizes. One is ever so slightly bigger than the other. Oh my gosh, she goes in there very solid. Well, her face looks perfect, so I'm pretty happy about that. In truth, at first glance, this whole figure looks incredible. I just love how dynamic and strong the pose is, and the whole thing has this lovely, elegant spice to it while still being very hardcore, and also kind of cute. Look how round the hair is. This is just really lovely. And that about sums it up for unboxing the largest box I've ever gotten, ever, from Amiami. It's wild when everything just sort of comes out all at the same time. Of course, I was kind of expecting it, so, you know, I've been keeping some of my funds aside. I sold a couple of things in order to be able to help manage this, but you never know. Sometimes, I mean, more often than not, figures just keep getting pushed back. It's possible everything here except for one could have been pushed back. Kind of like my last month. Of course, like always, I'm going to be doing an in-depth review of each one of these figures, so if you look forward to that, be sure to subscribe and maybe hit the notification bell. Out of the ones that are here today, are there any that are on your list that you're like, oh, I really wanted to get that one, and you're more anticipating to see the review on? I gotta be honest, like, I'm just looking at this now, but I feel like every single one of these characters have I'm going to step on you energy. Do I have a type? Of course I do. It's cute round faces. Have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye! One Grail. Check. I got a couple of Grail figures, but I think I'll save them for when I do her review in the future. My first bunny girl? I feel like I haven't been geeking out enough about these figures upon opening them up. I'm all here like, ooh, I gotta see the details. Oh, look at this. Oh, and this goes together. But like, now that I'm sitting down and kind of giving them a bit more of a look through, especially having them all together, this is so pretty. It's so weird that she doesn't actually peg onto it, and you just pop her off. This means you could just put her anywhere. Dare I get some sort of attachment and just walk around with her on my shoulder everywhere I go for the rest of my life?
So excited!
It looks like super good material. I want to touch it. It feels really thick to be wearing in such a hot environment. You're gonna be okay with the little etiquette that's there?
I don't know, my head doesn't fit.
Oh no, it doesn't fit. Oh. And of course, I'm not going to disappoint. Can Erik fit in this box? Just to give you a quick idea, I am a 6 foot tall individual. Let's see what I can do. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I feel like if I get in here, I may never be able to get out and I might need help. Oh, is this the same as the last box? Okay, I think I'm pretty much in here. All right, ship me to Japan. Gotta save on them airplane tickets. Oh, no. I think I ripped this box. This is a fail. This box isn't big enough. Or maybe it's just that I am just not able to stretch properly enough to get in here. I think that's the real reason. If I was able to like stretch better, maybe I could get in here better. No, I'm not. This video is over.